Good evening, or whatever time of day it is there. Hello. Just going down a long list of topics that I thought would like to spend some time on this channel. Just topics, not events that have happened. Quiet time in my life right now. You know, you know what I mean. Um, what brought me to this topic is hell a sorry, excuse me, is heaven boring? Um, Having liked rock and roll, old school rock and roll, some of it you could tell the people that wrote it didn't really fear going to hell and didn't really look forward to it. Some of it very godless. ACDC, I actually used to like that band quite a bit, but they have a song, Highway to Hell, when it came out. I didn't like it then. I thought it was completely godless. And the singer, the guy who wrote it, when you know he overdosed on alcohol not long after he came out with that. And I recall back then wondering if he was regretting writing and performing that song. You know, it's like the lyrics say, all my friends are going to be there. And basically, there's other songs, a lot of rock and roll songs, some other that make it sound like it's a good time in hell and heaven's boring. You know, it's more of like a big party wildlife in hell and more interesting people there. And they don't. And I've known someone very well. I can't mention names who didn't believe in God, didn't believe in anything. And I talked to them quite a bit, and they said they weren't worried about it. If they go to hell, oh well, so be it. Didn't bother them, the whole prospect. If they miss out on heaven, and I talked to them about they weren't interested. It didn't bother, not at all. So you lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. But you've probably seen things where, you know, some cartoons and whatever, all kinds of things have depicted heaven in a fairly boring place, like sitting on a harp with a cloud sitting on a cloud with a harp. Sorry, it's been a long day, and it's very late at night actually right now. So I just want to talk about that. A little bit of free talk on it. I'm going to start out with some what Jesus said, and then skip over to Corinthians on words on heaven, our future home. John 14, verse 2 through 4. Jesus said, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you and me." You know, you could take that figuratively, but what if I like to take things literally. He's really fixing us up a home. Imagine that, a home that Jesus built for each one of us. He's got all the time. It's eternity. Let me go on with that. John 14, verse 2 through 4. "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And where I go, you know, and the way you know." John 14, verse 2 through 4. In Matthew 6, verse 19, "Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal." How true. I suppose that's part of what I'm doing here. Sharing it as well. We all know that we can't take anything from here, and you can work hard. And I slaved away for that trip to France. I went there, everything went as planned, really, but it's over. You can't even take experiences with you. I hope to go back, but or you buy a car and the car's wonderful. Before you know it, it's outdated. Same with your phone, or God bless her, I know somebody who passed on recently, and I watched all their things. A lot of things they cared about a lot get thrown right in a dumpster. In fact, I saw that with my mom and Jen. I saw a lot of their possessions. Other people took them or they got tossed in a dumpster. Everything. No exception. Just like everything. So do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. And that's Jesus in Matthew 6, verse 19 through 20. And I would say time itself will rust and destroy and steal like a thief. Either way, lay up for your treasures in heaven, Christ tells us. Now, one more verse. This is 1 Corinthians. This is Paul, Apostle Paul, in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9 through 10. However, it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared those who love him. These are the things God has revealed to us by his Spirit. And Paul took some of that when he said it's written. It was written in the book of Isaiah 46, chapter 46. That's where he got that from. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him. And I love the Lord. These are the things God has revealed to us by his Spirit. And that's all the verses I have for you. Now, I've often thought, I think it doesn't hurt. God said, ask and you shall receive. God never told us, don't ask for this, don't ask for that, or stop asking for so much, or don't be silly, don't ask for that. Nowhere in the Bible does God tell us, in any way does he try to slow us down for asking for things. And often I've asked God, I want to meet this person again. I've got a list of people I want to meet again. Some of them you've heard of. Definitely. And I hope that I will, in God's will, if it's his will. And honestly, that person's will too. I don't owe anybody, but... And I started to tell God what I'd like to do, how I'd like to see this person, the things I'd like to do with them, to be together again. And then I think about it. Don't plan. Don't tell God your plans. Because I could sit there and plan. I could tell God, fix things up this way and that way so that when we meet again, and there's more than one person, when we meet again, it's going to be so wonderful. I thought, no. God is the master planner. He's the master event planner. Let him fix it up. He can do so much better job than me or you. Let him fix it up. Who am I to... If he fixes it up the way I ask it, I'll be missing out. Because God knows me, God knows that person so much better. And he likes to give us things. It's written in the Bible more than one place that God loves to give us things. But it's hard here on earth. It's hard here. So persevere. There's more verses that would tell you that. Fight the good fight, run the good race, receive the crown of life. But let God plan it. I mean, one of my visitations with my mother after she passed on, and I went to heaven. I saw her in heaven, and I was only allowed to remember the end of it when we left heaven. But I remember it very well. And I remember looking her in the eyes. She was holding both my hands. She took both my hands in hers and turned and faced me, and she looked beautiful, like, you know, she looked like she was 30 again, but a perfect 30. Even at 30, nobody would look that perfect. Robe, radiant. She had a golden glow about her and a white gown that went over both shoulders and a golden yellow belt around her waist. And she looked me in the eyes, and she had that look like I just got the feeling that she was really excited. Really, I mean, she was charged up with excitement. Like, you've got some good things waiting for you. You are going to be so surprised. She didn't say that, but that is totally the feeling I got from her when she held my hands and we were descending back to earth. And the only thing she said to me was, "It has to be this way, just for now." I let go of my hands, and she went straight up, and I descended to earth and landed on my side and woke up. But she had, the demeanor of her was excitement, joy. Like, you've got some wonderful things waiting for you. You're going to be so wonderfully surprised. I totally got that vibe from her. And that is in keeping with the scriptures, like what I just read from Isaiah. You know, why do it again? I don't have it memorized. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him. I wasn't allowed to remember it. I'm just relaying to you the vibe and the look in my mom's eyes of excitement and joy, and what I just said. Like, she really was excited for me and said, "It has to be this way just for now." You know, I've got some wonderful things waiting for me beyond my comprehension. Like that verse says, we can't even conceive it, what God has waiting for us. I don't think we're going to be sitting around a cloud playing a harp for eternity. God may have some work for us to do. Who knows? But I trust him. Everything, not everything's bad here on this earth. There are some good things. You know that. God invented the good things. Love, romance, joy with your children or your spouse, or God invented sex too. Yes, God invented sex, and gave us definite guidelines to where it's okay and where it shouldn't be. There's definitely got guidelines on sex between a man and a woman, and between a man and a woman. That's in the Holy Bible, and I'm not going to hide from that. Between a husband and a wife. But that's just here on earth. And imagine in God's kingdom, the things he's got waiting for us. Christ himself said that he went there to prepare a home for us, to prepare a home for you, a home for me. I've never owned a home in this life. I'm renting the place I'm in. I've always said I'll never own the property I'm on except for that I'm buried in. You don't own anything here. But, it's better to own than rent, really, in ways. I understand that. I've never owned a home here. And without getting into it, this New York State has held me down quite a bit until recent years, very recent years. That's not going to happen. Jesus is preparing a home for us. Imagine the craftsmanship of a home that Jesus Christ is preparing for us in heaven. You want to be there. I mean, I got a glimpse of heaven when I was 17 and was actually taking up my friend Brian, who'd been killed a year or two earlier. Um, well, we were walking down a dirt path, a smooth dirt path together, and he was wearing a white robe, and he was about my height. He's a short guy, short, stocky guy in life here, but not there. He was about 6 foot tall, had a white robe, brown, same color hair, brown hair. And it was like a luscious garden on both sides of the path that we were walking down. I mean, I guess it looked like, I don't know what you call it. Looked like maybe the Garden of Eden, like tall, luscious green plants and flowers. Very beautiful, very peaceful. He was very calm. His demeanor was very full of love and concern, and he was concerned for me, and he wanted to help me out. I was very lucky to have that happen. Everything he told me that was going to happen, that I was allowed to remember, like with my mother, I was only allowed to remember the end of it. But there was a lot more before. I wasn't allowed. I'm only aware, like with my mother, that there was a lot more before in that trip to heaven. But I wasn't allowed to remember, if that makes any sense. There's like a feeling of quite a bit more. But I was only allowed to remember the end part, like maybe the last 5% of the whole thing, where like we stopped walking and he told me, remember this, Tim. It's all going to work out for you in the end. Remember that, Tim. He called me by my name. It's all going to work out for you in the end. And just like my mother said, it has to be this way just for now. And then poof, those were my two visits to heaven. And I don't care what anybody says. I totally believe it. Take it for what it's worth. Of course, I'm not going to talk about Jen, but she visited me twice. Wasn't a heavenly visit, but it wasn't the other either. She just told me she loved me and that I needed to move on with my life. Words of encouragement and to help me and to remind me she loved me. And here's something else. I was going to do a story on this. If somebody comes back from the grave to tell you they love you, that's the real thing. If they still love you when they passed on, be it a spouse, girlfriend, whoever it might be, your parents, your child, Jesus Christ, if they love you from the spirit world here, that's eternal love. That's the real thing. Because people come and go here in this walk like crazy. Friends, family, nobody. There's not a single person here that can't let you down. I mean, there are some people that won't let you down. You have a true friend or a true person in your family, yes. But people get let down by their parents, by their children, by their spouses, by their government, by you name it, their comrades. But love it's easy to say here, but if they love you from the spirit world, they love you forever. That's a forever love. And take it from me, and I'm just sharing that with you. And I'm sure you have a lot of people waiting for you on the other side. You're going to have a joyful reunion. Definitely. I don't know what sort. I have no idea. Me too. I don't want a beer party. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Only if God allows it. That's what it comes down to. My wishes, only with God's blessing. Let God plan it. Let Jesus plan it. They know so much better. If you were going to plan an event in heaven for you reuniting with loved ones, could it be your pets? Wouldn't you much rather just leave that to God, leave that to Christ? Let him plan it out. He already said he was going to go prepare a home for us. I believe it. I believe it. I believe I'll see this home and say, wow, that's my home? Yep, the price is right. Free. I built it for you. said the man in the white robe with the crown. Is there anything else? Let God plan it out for you. And I'm not going to tell God. I mean, I can ask God, definitely. Lord, I really want to see this person again. If it's your will, if it's within your will. Have mercy on me, have mercy on us all. We're sinners. Jesus Christ, through Christ. If it's possible, I'd really love to see this person again. And I start coming up with ideas. No, I'll let you plan it out. Because God invented all the good stuff here, like I said. Trust me. If you think about it, you think he's going to let us have mundane, boring existence in his home, his kingdom? And quite a bit of scriptures, Jesus refers, when he talks of heaven. I didn't read those. There's a lot of them. Well, not a lot, actually. But I think at least half of the times Jesus refers to heaven, he refers to his Father in heaven. And the Lord's Prayer starts out, Our Father who art in heaven. So heaven is a place. It's a place where God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost live. That's their kingdom, where they reside, and they come back and forth to us here and whatever, I don't know. But he refers to heaven as a definite place where the Father lives. So I don't think it'll be boring, but you could have your head in the clouds your whole life. We got to get on with our lives here. And but you can think whatever you want. You want to live with your head in the clouds like I do sometimes? I got time. I just think about, I just try to put myself there with the Lord and maybe with a loved one. And I swear I can feel them, their presence. And I just say, let's go for a walk on the beach. Let's go for a walk on the beach. Let's grab us a hot dog and ice cream cone. Whatever you want. You make it up. I mean, Christ also said heaven is within us. Heaven is now. The kingdom of heaven is within us. It is now. It is on hand. And I should cover that because that is a bit of a mystery to me. I admit. That's probably something I should pray about. Maybe I'll cover that. The kingdom of heaven is within you. That still is a bit of a mystery. I'm going to look into that. So perhaps if I get any, maybe I'll open that one up too, crack that one up, see what we can find. So the older you get, the more and more people you love are on the other side. But in a way, they're not so far away from you, actually, at all. Your loved ones in heaven, you can talk to them anytime you want. And I believe they listen. I believe they do. I feel that they do. We're going to be separated like this for now, but you can talk to them anytime you want. Tell them you love them. Tell them you think of them. But at the same time, we have to get on with our lives and move forward with Christ to do the Lord's work. And so, we've got work to do at hand here. But we don't want to be completely heaven-minded, to where we're not doing the work at hand, the Lord's work. And if you want to know what the Lord's work is, you ask him yourself. Because what he has for you to do, what he has for anybody else to do, not exactly the same thing. I'm certain of it. I don't know, actually. You want to know what work there is to do at hand? You'll find that out. Ask him, pray for it. I know you do. I know you do. If you're listening to this, I know you all are at least, I know you follow God. I'm not trying to preach, but I am a little bit here. I'm just talking. I mean, it would be nice if we had like a house church where everybody could meet up a couple times during the week and sit and eat, talk, pray, read the Bible. Yeah, it'd be good, but I got this camera and the candles and a lot of prayers before I go online and do this. So, all right, heaven. I don't believe God's home. When you look around this earth, God, you hear my voice echo through my guitar. It's sitting behind me. I'm pretty sure whatever there's beautiful here and love here, going to be even more of that. God wouldn't have a boring, dull existence in his home, would he? All right. Thank you. God bless each of you. I love your comments. I want to thank each of you for your comments on my recent posts. They've been helpful for me, all of you. One was enough to even spur me on to make another drive-along video about psychic Christian. And I appreciate the comments that followed with that too. So thank you very much. And have a great day, great evening, have a great everything.